because I couldn't sign up for that motherfucker again. I was not gonna sign up for a guy who didn't like me, and I wasn't gonna sign up for somebody who I didn't like. I was gonna be clear about what I wanted and what I loved, and I was gonna get clear about how I wanted to feel in my life. And when I was able to do that and write down who I wanted, what I wanted, how I wanted it to feel, I was like, ready. And I had a dark night of the soul, glass of whiskey in one hand, pen and a journal in the other, talking to the ceiling. Okay, I'm ready. Where is he? Where is he, guys? No voices. But I went to sleep that night and I had this dream. I had this dream that I was looking down at this 3D vision of the city. I imagine it's what those who have crossed over must see when they're looking down, because that's how it came to me, as like the snow globe effect. And I'm looking down and I see this man leaving a building at the same time I'm leaving a building, and he's 3 blocks away. And when I woke up that morning, the message was, if you knew, unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, that your guy was showing up in 5 days, 5 weeks, or 5 months, how different would you live your life? Well, this hit me like a ton of bricks, because I was always somebody who went out with my girlfriends and I would park myself to stare at the door. So if any guy came in, I was ready to get him. I was ready to meet him. I was there. I was like, hello. I had a relationship with a door for most of my 20s and 30s. Never with my friends. So if you knew unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, that your guy was going to show up in 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, you would live differently. So I called my girlfriend Holly and I said, hey girl, let's go to Italy and make out with boys. And so we did. And it was on the airplane ride back that I said to her, I'm not sure this relationship between us is going to continue, because my man is going to show up any minute now, any second. When I get off the airplane, I think he's going to be there. 3 weeks later, coming out of the Irish Snug was this very handsome fella. And I yelled across the bar, you can't go, you are make-outable. And he said, what? And I said, you heard me. You are make-outable. And so we made out. And what I think is important about the wedding night, because that came after the making. We made out and then we got married. First comes love. And what's important is that I had to get right with me for him to show up. That was my first clue, right? But I think what really transitioned me, what really grounded me, what really brought me present, what really got me to this place, was that he was the first person who saw me. He was the first person to recognize me and the whole me, and not the, oh, she's bizarre, she's eccentric. He saw me and loved me, no matter what. First time ever. And it grounded me so much that I believe that that's the reason that the psychic moment happened on our wedding night, which is to say that after copious amounts of alcohol were consumed and everybody had left the party, that suddenly my body started to do this weird shifting thing and my voice changed. And it was my dad who said, I think you're channeling my father. And I was like, he wanted to come to the wedding. He hadn't gotten the invite, so he just showed up. And at the same time that we recognized that he was coming in, Aaron's mom tried to peer through as well. Now, both of these people I'd never met before, so I had no inclination as to who they were. But as Aaron's mom started to peer through, my husband was like, look, we've been married 12 hours, and I did not sign up for a girl who speaks to dead people, so he was like, peace out. So I hung out with my parents that night, and we explored this strange new phenomenon in my life. And I think what's really interesting is that I did what every normal, not psychic person would do the next day. I woke up and I rationalized it. And I decided that did not happen. That didn't happen. There's no way. People who talk to dead people, that's James Van Praagh, Sandra Brown, that's John Holland and John Edwards. They're really special, important people, not a hairstylist, not just some girl who does hair. She doesn't get to talk to dead people. So I kind of ignored it, but I was also like, so I think I can talk to dead people? Just to a couple people? I think something's happening, it's weird. And stuff started happening, and more validations were coming up. And I remember I was telling my girlfriend one time, so I think I might be psychic. And she goes, it's sort of like when your gay friend tells you they're gay and you've been waiting for a while for them to come out. She's like, do you not remember channeling for me in your backyard? And I was like, no. But that's when it hit me like, shit, this has been happening for like a really long time and I just didn't know it. Like I've been doing hair and channeling for most of my career and I wasn't even aware of it because for me it was just like this natural thing. Like no wonder I was weird and bizarre and eccentric and people didn't think I fit in. It wasn't the name, it was the fact that I didn't speak like everybody else and there was this otherworldly thing always happening. I just didn't know. I thought it was normal for me. I thought everybody could do this. But it was then that I decided that I should probably take this seriously because there's something special about being able to connect with those who have crossed over. There's something special about being able to see the awesome in people. There's something special about it. So I took to task and I worked with some of the most renowned mentors that I could find here locally and as well internationally. I read every book that I could get my hands on, and here's the truth. Yeah, I can talk to the other side. And yes, I can validate for you and find you're awesome. But no, I'm not gonna wear purple velour. I'm not talking into crystal balls. And I'm not telling you your future because that's for you to decide. It's all up to you. But here's what I think is super special about this ability, is that I feel like I know what we all want now, and it's not $1 million. And I know that feels like so much easier sometimes, the $1 million. Like somehow that would be the answer to all your problems. But what we really all want is just to be seen and to be recognized. And by that I mean for our purpose to come alive, for our truth to come out, for that true essence to be there, we have to unzip. And when we unzip and we come out and we get recognized, shit happens. Lives change. Like the world shifts. Follow your own star. And the thing is with your true self or your essence or your heart or your soul or your spirit, higher self, we can't use that here in Colorado because we're already high, but whatever you want to call it, this higher being, this more enlightened self, it's in you and it shows up every day. And it's asking you every day to push what feels comfortable, and what is uncomfortable has got to sometimes go. And there's this other voice, that ego voice, the maniacal voice that sounds like your mother. And she's like, look, I know you think you can do this, but I think you'd be better not doing it. I'm pretty sure you should just stay the course and just keep your job. Don't try anything new. You need the 401k plan. It's very important. Your father and I sent you to college so you'd make a lot of money so you could take care of us later. That's your ego. Your ego's the one that's like, you're not good enough. And I don't believe in you. And you're not worth it. And you'll never meet the person of your dreams. But none of that's true. None of it's true. Because the truth is, you can be whatever you want in this life, unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt. That's what lives in all of us. I have a very unique story to tell. And of course, I have to thank her. You don't mind, do you? She's already been up here. So Shelly called me. And I've asked for permission to tell this story, she's aware. So Shelly emailed me a few weeks ago and she said, I need to borrow your intuition. And I said, of course. And I immediately checked in. I didn't know what she was going to ask, but I checked in and I got this emphatic yes. And I emailed her back and I said, yes, I don't know what the question is, but yes feels like the answer to me. And she called anyways. We get on the phone, we're gabbing, and she asks me the question, and I immediately went from psychic, empath, to friend and protector. And friend and protector came out, and the question was, she got invited to be on a film set, and she was going to get to be in a film as a life coach, and this was going to really inspire her career, and this was going to really put her on the map, and this was a great deal for her. But it came with a financial investment on her part, to which anytime money is involved, so many of us go right into the no way. And so she was like, no, I was like, no, you can't. No, financial investment for film is not good, bad, very bad. And we're in a film studio today, and my friend Patrick has invited us here to be here. And so I immediately get on the horn and I'm calling Patrick and I'm like, look, dude, tell me this is a bad idea, that this friend of mine should invest in a film. This is a terrible idea. He's like, I'm not really in the business of telling people what to do. And God bless him, because he's a filmmaker as well. He's following his own star every day. They do not get paid well to follow their own star. It's in you. It's like that life inside of you that can't not come out to play. And Shelley here was just wanting to know what I thought on an intuitive level, but the friend came out. And you know, anytime you ask your friend, that's what happens. They go into this protective mode, and they have all the love and intention of serving you and solving for you and participating in you. But they come from their own shit, which is what I did. I came from my own shit, my own knowledge of the situation. And so I told her no. And a few weeks later, I was so grateful she didn't listen to me, because a few weeks later, she's like sitting in Spain on a gorgeous terrace, like overlooking a vineyard, next to an infinity pool with a glass of wine, I'm sure, because that's how I envisioned it. And she is having the time of her life. And I immediately emailed her and I was like, girl, I have to come clean. I fucked up. I was not a psychic the other day. I was your friend. And if I had listened to that emphatic yes at the beginning, it would have carried us through. And I'm so sorry that I didn't do my job. And she emails me, I'm so glad I listened to my intuition and I followed my own star. I put those words in her mouth. But she followed her own star. She trusted herself, and she said it was a really big minute for her. It was a really big moment for her, because it was then that she realized that she was worth it, and that for all the no's she got, for the 8 no's that showed up on her doorstep, that everybody was protective, everybody was armoring her, making sure she didn't get hurt. But her intuition, her spirit said, yes, do it, go for it. And so she ended up in Spain on a terrace by an infinity pool, looking at a vineyard, drinking wine, and hanging out with really smart coaches on TV. So that's why we're all here tonight, so we can go to Spain. We're all gonna tap into our intuition because we all want a free trip to Spain. So here's the thing. We all hit these points in our lives where we have decisions on our plate. Shit's hitting the fan, or it's not, or it's just a regular day. But we have 3 stages that we all live in. We're either asleep, awake, or on fire. And if you're asleep, that means to say that you're not playing the game at all anymore. You might give up that hour or that day or that week or that year, but you're in that fetal position. Possibilities are not even an option because you can't even make a decision at that point. If possibilities are coming at you and you find yourself in that fetal position, something in your trust department is needing a little TLC. And then if you're on fire, you're more likely in control, got this, writing lists, making notes, taking charge, taking name, can't see the possibilities, I gotta get here, I'm on a road, I'm on a path, I'm gonna do this. You lost all the possibilities that might have just come your way, all the opportunity that could have been yours. But when you're awake and you're present and you're grounded and you're like, whatevs, yo, then shit changes. Shit comes your way. You get to go to Spain. So I had this opportunity years ago to ride a horse. And just so we're clear, horse is not my spirit animal. And I'm in Big Sky, Montana, blue sky, mountains, the river runs through it, Brad Pitt is nowhere to be seen, he's looking. And I'm on top of the horse, and I am freaking out on the inside. I mean, the horse is not even moving, and I'm freaking out already. And I'm just sitting there like, gut check, like, fuck, I'm on a horse. And I'm just in a corral. We're not moving, we're in a corral. I'm not going anywhere, I'm freaking out.